Hello everyone and welcome to System Hoppers, the actual play podcast when we can never decide what we want to play. My name is Mark and I'm joining you as a player this time alongside my friends Josh, Cassie and Steve, as this is the final part of our playthrough of The Zone. For an explanation of the rules, character creation and us playing through the tutorial scenes, please do check out our first episode. In The Zone, we're playing an expedition group exploring the titular anomalous zone. I'm playing Buddy Taylor, the scientist. Steve is playing Jebediah Taskman, the entrepreneur. Cassie is playing Evie Larkin, the volunteer. And Josh is playing Adam Tort, the writer. Each character has an obsession, a reason guiding them into the zone, a phobia, something that the zone will attempt to use against them, and a reason as to why they can't go back and must press on. In the last episode, we left the safety of the campsite and headed to the zoo, an abandoned, empty, but well-maintained aquarium. After nearly drowning in one of the tanks and having another run-in with the Black Shulk and narrowly escaping, the group had to evade a strange ghostly siren that threatened them with her song and trying to smash all the glass in the tanks. After escaping this, the group ran through a door and suddenly found themselves now in a hospital waiting room, straight out of Evie's memories, containing strange apparitions that only Evie and an empathetic Adam could perceive. After being chased to what she thought was her sick niece's room, the group had to leave Evie behind as she found herself too injured to continue as she succumbed to her slowing sanguination. What's left of the group now press forward. The dangers will only continue to get worse for what's left of Expedition 14 as we now face the final leg of their journey. Who will make it to the centre and have their wish granted? Will it even come true? Josh, it says it's your scene next, but it's actually whoever draws that fake card.
We're still in the hospital, technically. If we move to the sewers, then, yeah. As of right now, we're still in the hospital, so...
Oh, I assumed... sorry, I thought that was the scene. I thought that was the end of it.
Okay, I don't know. Do we stay in a hospital or do we move on to the sewers?
I feel like maybe a transitional scene to get us to the sewers might not be a bad idea before we just, dive straight into the sewers.
We'll move to the sewers and see what it offers, because it might push this onto somebody else, and then they can do a transitional scene. There we go.
Adam Tort must die.
So, the choices we have for the sewers is a disgusting fetid labyrinth, things that normally live here, got bigger carving out earthen layers, grim and shit fill every corner. Lovely.
Grime, not grim.
Oh, grime, thank you. A gothic undercity where old things lie, best undisturbed, gargoyles, surprisingly elegant bridges, storerooms often blocked by iron bars, or a vaulting concrete space where the underground river enters an industrial river, water treatment plant bursting with machines and piping. I'm leaning between 2 or 3.
I like 2, but...
I like 2. I think we've been too, sensible so far, so...
I was saying, what if it's 2 because it's a gothic undercity and it's like we've walked into one of your books, but
Ooh.
Or something that's almost, out of place from...
Yeah, I like that. Cassie, what do you think?
I mean, I'm just here to add weirdness and flair, so it's completely up to you.
I think we doubled down to it being the hospital being a memory of Evie's. This would make sense to be a creation of Adam.
Okay.
That psychological aspect, really. We carried that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So, we've entered a scene from one of Adam's books. Turns out he loves Gothic literature. That's I don't think it's actually from one of his books, but it's from an inspiration of his. He grew up reading Edgar Allan Poe, and it's just it's seeped into his work, into who he is as a person as well. So, being in this massive Gothic undercity is very suitable. Let's get a scene prompt. You encounter an incredibly dangerous anomaly. Well, I wonder what that anomaly is going to be.
What's your direction, actually?
You're the director.
I think it's very clear what it is.
I think it's going to be a big zombie.
That's it. So we're still in the hospital before we got to this point, right? And we've just seen Evie pass in front of us. And I think as Evie, we see the life leave Evie, I think Evie starts to, lack of a better words, dust Avengers vibes in front of us and just disintegrates into nothing, leaving us no reason to stay there, really.
We give it a minute and then we're like, let's leave.
Just like, alright, we're done. Guys, we need to move on from this. I don't know how you guys feel. Do you want a second to like...
I want to leave.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay, so we leave through the door, and I think almost like how with the aquarium, how we left that and it took us straight into the hospital. We open the door and it takes us straight into this gothic undercity. And we have the same tonal change, the lighting's changed, it's so dark, it's like everything's candlelit now. We can see these gargoyles hanging up from the ceilings and everything. There's a few like angels, like statues of angels, and they've got their eyes covered. I need to make an obligatory Doctor Who reference, it's just like...
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Thank you, Cassie. Yes, exactly. Anyways, we're in this massive gothic undercity with weeping angels and gargoyles everywhere, and it's all candlelit. And as we enter the room, in the center of the room, we just see these piercing red eyes staring back at us.
Oh no, he's back.
Of course he's back. How do you guys react to that?
I mean, I'm hopped up for violence at this point, so I'm going to throw hands with the red eyes.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to go punch it.
Okay.
I mean, that's definitely not so easy.
It's absolutely not so easy.
No, and you die.
Well, then what happens to me? No, and the zone mutates you in a way that triggers your phobia.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Every time you punch something, it's not worked.
It's never gone well. Well, my phobia is like being forgotten, like irrelevancy. So I'll say like, I don't even get to throw hands with it. Like I start to move towards it. And as I do, I just like, I'm just in like a padded cell, straitjacket on, like mentally. Like physically I'm still there and I just stop. But like mentally, like I'm completely restrained, locked in a room, forgotten about, just screaming into the void.
That's intense. Oh, I see what's happening to Jeb, and I don't, at this point, for what we've seen and what we've gone through, I don't even like question it. But like, there's nothing I could do. I turn to Buddy and be like, I think this is for me. And
I'm just like can't. You don't know what's going on. Like
I'm like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. I look over at the dog and like I can see the dog, but behind the dog is my wife, and she's beckoning me. I'm getting that hallucination come back again. I look at Buddy and it's like, please look after Jeb.
I think I'm gonna grab the necklace from you and like snap it off you, like knowing.
Yeah, I don't stop you. I also go like, look after Evie for me.
Yeah, Godspeed.
I'll be that guy. I'm going to not so easy that as you grab the necklace.
Oh no. Ha, yes, but the zone mutates you, triggering a much more serious challenge. I think as I grab the locket, like...
You get barraged with emotion.
And I get hit by like an entire, like everything, like... I think like all of like Evie's like drive for coming here kind of hits me. And I kind of like grab my head and just I'm kind of incapacitated.
Okay.
Kind of leaving Jeb kind of incapacitated and me kind of just like as I just immediately kind of fall down.
I kind of see that happen, and I'm like, I just need to move on. Like, I feel like at this point my journey's over. And I walk towards the dog, and then the dog jumps into me, and then that's it, I think.
I'm on the ground like crippled with pain, and I try and maybe hold a hand up to like do anything, and I just kind of see you just there and then like not.
Yeah, I think that is exactly what you see. And then I'm dead.
The writer is now one with the zone.
Yes.
Josh continues to take turns as normal, but Adam taunts humanity, although perhaps not their story, ends here. Golly.
Well,
I don't know if you want to go, Steve, or not, but I think maybe there's like we don't really know how much time has passed. Like, I have this pain and you're just locked up.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like it could have been minutes, it could have been
seconds, it could have been hours, yeah. Do we move or do we stay?
Where do we go? To the fucking mall next?
Let's go for a little shopping spree. Do we stay in the sewers for one more scene or do we move on?
I don't know.
I'm open to suggestions.
What do our dead players think?
I mean, I feel like you guys need a second. Like, surely you need a moment, to, like a beat to like...
Give them a moment for pity's sake.
Exactly, surely.
One more scene in here and then
and then you move, I think.
Like a transitionary scene.
Okay, that's a pretty good consensus, I think. Okay, so yeah, as we both sort of snap to again, pretty much exactly the same time. Like, it could have been seconds, it could have been hours. Like, we have no concept of time here. Someone's past catches up with them. How did Adam, like, die? Did he just, like, collapse? Did he dust, like, Evie? Like...
I think I'd say I dusted as well, just to keep that kind of... Like, if you were to actually watch the situation, the dog would have jumped into being, we both would have dusted together.
We wouldn't have seen that because we were both incapacitated. I'll say, as we snap to then, where Adam was standing is now Buddy's brother, Alex Taylor.
Do you see him as well, or is...
Yeah, so we both see him. Like, it's very jarring for both of us, as, like, we both sort of, like, snap to.
It's almost like that strong bond is coming to play here.
Oh, that empathy.
Yeah.
I'll kind of rub my eyes and be like, Alex, is that you? Like, is that really you? I can walk over to him.
As you sort of go to walk past me, I just sort of put a hand in front of just like, hold on a second. Like, nothing's been right for a while here.
How does he look? Does he look like actually like kitted out? Does he look like a dream, or does he look like a man who survived a Lovecraftian void?
Let's say somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Like, he looks weirdly good, but he does look like someone that's been surviving here. I feel like that's how Buddy would imagine him at this point.
Maybe left clean shaven. Like, now he's got more of like a formed beard. Like, you know, clearly like monikers of time passing. Like, hair's a bit ragged. You know.
Yeah.
Like, clothes are dirty.
I like the idea. He looks how Buddy would imagine him to look at this point for how long he's been gone.
Nah, he's clearly there, Alex, and I'm gonna try and force my way past you to walk over to him.
I mean, neither of them two are doing it, so I'm gonna do it to you.
I was just about to.
No, and the zone mutates you in a way that triggers someone else's obsession. If no one else is left, it triggers yours. What was your obsession? My
obsession, essentially making money. Like, I want to be like, I want revenge on my like company that like shit canned me. So it's no. So is that I don't pull away from you? Yeah, I sort of stop you from going past me, but that triggers my obsession. You try and stop me, and then as you look back, I'm wearing his clothes. He's dressed like me, but like his features look like we almost have shared features that just you don't really remember. You know, like I have some of his features and he has some of mine. You have more facial hair than you had previously, kind of thing. Yeah, but he also then doesn't, or maybe he's wearing glasses. I was wearing glasses, and now he is. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I don't notice that at all. Like, and that kind of triggers something in you. Like, I sort of, with my hand on not Buddy. Ooh, what was that? Jeb, is that you? Is that still you? I'm still me. Are you still you? Yeah, I'm still. And I look down and I'm like, what? Like, oh. How do you have facial hair now? I could never grow a bit. What? What's going on? Alex, are you okay? Something's not right here. I'm gonna say that Alex doesn't say a word. He doesn't even seem to be reacting to this change.
I want to say it's worse than that. When he does talk, it's very much accusatory at you. Just like, you know, miming your wrist and just being like, you never wanted to go in the first place. You're always going to leave me to die in there, weren't you? You know?
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I like that a lot. So he's sort of glaring at Buddy. When he does finally speak, he just sort of launches into a tirade. Just sort of like, you're a coward. I know you could have come on that first expedition. If you'd have been with me, I'd be fine. I wouldn't have been stuck here. You did this to me. How could you? I trusted you, Buddy, and you abandoned me when I needed you the most. I think Buddy's gonna take offense to that and kind of look over and almost like he looks sad for a second, like almost like, you know, like a younger sibling being berated by his older brother. Yeah. No, I came here to get you. I came here to make sure you're okay. And you're Alex, Dr. Alex Taylor, the famous doctor, the miracle worker, you're Mr. Perfect. I've lived in your shadow for too long. I came here to rescue you, and I will like walk over and. Yes, buddy. Absolutely, let's go. I mean, I'll do it for you. I'm gonna stand up for myself against my brother / ghost brother. Don't know. No, but your failure brings you closer to another character. I have an idea for this.
You fall deeper in love with each other.
We've been leaning into like this empathy thing, like the shared emotion. I've been gradually getting more and more like violent as we've gone. Now that it's just me and you, that's starting to affect you as well.
Ooh. But I fail, so I don't like square up to him, or do I not? I don't know. Like,
I could say that the failure is like you go to like stand up for yourself. Instead, you just attack him. Like, because that's a failure. Like, that's not what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
I almost shout at him, then as I walk towards him, I curl my hand into a fist and just throw like a hook at him, and then start just throwing punches at this like stoic stone, like, you know, like barrel-chested, large, like bodied man. Like, and I think eventually the punching just turns to like almost just like crying as he's just trying to hit this apparition. You know, it's just getting worse and worse.
Pokemon movie where Pikachu's punching.
Yeah.
Just gradually breaking down to tears as you go.
And I think I just keep punching maybe until...
I think there's a nice way to end that scene then, like, the two of us sort of revel in the violence for a few minutes as before, like, sort of snap back into reality again. As, like, he's not there. Like, it's just me and you, and you're just sort of, like, kneeling down on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, bloody fists.
I think he probably is gone, if everyone else is gone, but we're so close.
I think we may need a therapist after this, buddy.
We're so close, though. We're so close. Can you not feel it? There's an electricity in the air.
We need to keep moving.
Yeah, I'm going to pick myself up, but I think I'm maybe leaning on you a little bit as we keep walking.
Yeah, I think that's a good scene end point there.
It's great because you make it worse for yourself anyways. I don't feel like I need to.
That's fair.
Me and Mark are gleefully playing Russian roulette aimed at our feet here.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the mall.
Oh.
Jebediah.
Oh no!
Jebediah Taskman must die in the coming scene.
I must die in the coming scene. Okie dokie.
Also, isn't your whole thing like money and how you look and everything? And you're in the mall.
Yeah, this is probably the good place for me to die, honestly.
Capitalism.
The mall. It is either unpretentiously beige box mall, mainstream retailers playing it safe, a bowling alley, a parking lot that's still packed with cars that are rusting. We have a palace of glass, elevators, reflective walkways, boutiques, models staring from huge billboards, so clean the effect is kaleidoscopic. Or a tented local market, local farmers, souvenir vendors, local crafts. You could find anything here if you looked hard enough. I feel like we're leaning into my Narcissus complex here.
I think that's the right choice.
Yeah. So we are at a palace of glass, elevators, reflective walkways, and boutiques. Very sleek, modern mall. Let's get a scene prompt here. Ooh.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
That's interesting.
That one's
Do you want to read it aloud?
something horrific is revealed by one of you about the previous expedition. That's too good to not use, right?
Yeah, I feel like you got to stick with that.
That's too good to not use for someone whose brother you just beat to death.
Allegedly.
He didn't beat to death. He just beat him a lot until you gave up, right?
Yeah.
Beat him until he was no longer there.
Yeah.
Until he stopped existing.
So I'll say that like we sort of walk through just a door, like the nearest door to us, as we step through into like a massive sort of open sort of mall space, you know, escalators, like big open central area. Violent, stark contrast to where we just were, where it was very grim. Now it's like incredibly bright, like sunny day in like a glass-topped like building kind of deal. Like it's very bright. There's no people around, but it still like feels busy, if that makes sense. Like there's that sort of sense of like there's this sort of noise of people, despite there not being any people.
Yeah, like the hustle and bustle.
Yeah. As the two of us sort of stumble in. Probably neither of us are looking great at this point. Like you've just worn yourself out beating an apparition to death.
Yeah, I think I'm just tired. Like, rugged. I got weird fish hands. My mutations have actually been quite tame. They've mostly just been emotional.
Mine have pretty much all been emotional. Like, I don't think I've had a physical...
But yeah, so what happens?
I'll say we both sort of like stop and we sort of just like sit down on a bench and just sort of try and take stock for a second as Jeb sort of looks at what he's like, what do we even do now? Where do we even go from here?
I mean, we were at the hospital, then we're at the zoo, like the in a book. So do you know where this is? Do we know where this is?
I think I might have been here before, actually.
That doesn't bode well for you, but...
Based on the last couple of people, I'm not confident about it. I remember being here when I was like 17. Like, I stole my dad's credit card and spent a good few hours here.
Okay. I suppose that's something.
Something's not right, guys.
You're right, Josh. Something is not right.
Oh, you having a nice little catch up? We love it. We're here for it.
Boring.
Something's still not quite right. I'm trying to work out what though. Okay, I think we need to have some more sights of your brother. I know this is very Jeb focused, but I think we need a bit of Buddy vibes going on still. And if I'm right in saying Buddy has the hallucination mutation still?
I do have the hallucination mutation.
It's got a nice little rhyme to it, doesn't it? I think while you're having this conversation, Buddy, you are also... that hallucination is becoming stronger. Like, you're, like... it's making, like, almost, like, direct eye contact to you while you're... it's, like, really distracting. Like, you're trying to be there for Jeb, you're trying to listen to what he's saying, but you keep making this eye contact with your brother.
It does get worse. I kind of want to do that it gets worse.
Yeah.
I've got an idea to sort of like bring us both towards the end here. As I'm sort of talking to you and you're sort of staring like past me at your brother, I'm still in the mall, like that I can see, as like the locale around you starts to warp to be something else entirely. That's a bit more like Buddy, Alex appropriate.
Ooh. Maybe it's also like as that happens, like I look down and maybe like I see my brother as like being like 10 and I look down and I'm like 10 and it's like we're, you know, you're in the mall as like you're like shopping as kids, like
yeah.
I just look down and I'm like, what? And then I look up and kind of it's just me and my brother and we're like almost like happy and like shopping or something.
Do you see Jeb as your brother at this point?
That's good.
I'll look to you, Jeb, and Alex, we made it. What are you okay? You look so young.
Jeb sort of just looks at you like, what are you talking about? Not like...
Is it... I'm just gonna start counting prime numbers again.
Not so easy.
There we go, Cassie. Thank you. I was there, but I'm glad you called it.
No, but the Grisone mutates you, granting a gift that may be helpful in the future.
Oh.
I like the idea, actually, of as I shut my eyes and start counting these prime numbers, maybe looking at the mutation cheat sheet, my skin goes all chameleon-like and I just disappear.
Ooh. You're invisible.
Yeah, like, it's almost like that. I want to shut myself out from all of this and I just stop. But, like, as Jeb sees, I just vanish. Like,
yeah, Jeb's truly alone.
Yeah.
That plays into my...
Ooh.
This is your scene as well. I'm trying not to.
It is. As Buddy just sort of vanishes, Jeb sort of sounds like, Buddy, no, you can't just leave me here. No, you can't leave me on my own. But Buddy, I need you to, just sort of in a panic, just start like running around into shops, just like
something's not right. I think, because leading into what we have to find something about the previous expedition, right? I think as you start looking around and you start running, you run into like where they had their last stand. Like where like some of the expeditions, you don't know which one, or maybe you do know which one, but I think you find like people that held out and this was where they tried to hold off whatever they were against. It's worse than that.
It does get worse now. I'm just trying to think.
I love this mechanic.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It gets worse. One of the sort of the bodies, written in blood next to them, is the word Buddy.
Oh fuck. That's bad. That's worse for me, not you.
And we've got to make it worse, and we need to reveal something about a previous expedition. So I've just discovered.
Is that what's revealed? I guess. Yeah, like we found them.
Yeah, we've potentially found your brother. Like, I sort of see that, I'll just sort of like kneel down on the floor next to the couple of bodies, be like, oh no. No, Buddy, you really need to come back now. This isn't funny anymore. This is kind of important.
I think I'm gonna have that like snap me back maybe, and I kind of open my eyes and then I reappear next to you with like, what, Jeb? What's going on? What's this? And I'll like glance around, just trying to take in everything I'm looking at.
I'll just sort of point at the writing with that. I'm gonna not so easy myself on that.
Let's do it. Come
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yes, but success immediately triggers a much more serious challenge. If it's a creature, it's not their final form. So I successfully point out that it's...
You point at a dead body.
With your name written next to it in blood.
Yeah.
I think it like triggers a break in like yourself. Like the challenge is now you sort of like snap. And that sort of shared like rage that we've now got sort of boils over for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's a good way to get me towards a death here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think, like, on seeing that, yeah, like, I see it and I realise, like, almost like it's all been in vain. And I kind of just look like, again, that anger kicks in. I can see it, like, looking at you. It was all pointless. Everything, like, they all died for nothing. And I, like, motion to, like, the locket I'm holding. Like, this is all meaningless. Like, there's no point to any of it.
No, we can still get out of here. Like,
no, we can't. Look, they didn't, we didn't. Adam's gone, Evie's gone. I don't think we can get out. We're not getting out of this. No.
I'll say you're like walking like at me and sort of like poking me back, just sort of in like frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Just like sort of punctuating the sentences with like a poke to the chest as you're ranting. As Jeb is sort of pushed up against like a banister, like sort of against the drop where the sort of the open space is, as Buddy sort of just like right in his face, just sort of yelling at him at this point.
I want tenterhooks.
I'm gonna take stock there. We're gonna have a moment to consider this.
We're gonna take stock of where we're at.
I'm in so much pain right now.
Look at that, my cheeky take stock.
We're gonna take stock right now. I'm gonna say the lights start to flicker.
Classic.
I'm going to say that Jebediah is feeling pretty shitty right now. He feels like he's just been like berated by a parent. You know, when a child is just scolded by a teacher or a parent, and you've got that guilt and anger and acceptance and like defiance, and you just feel humiliated. You're just feeling all those feelings hitting you out of nowhere.
And on top of that, you've got that ringing in your ears.
Yeah, your tinnitus is back.
It's at the nth degree. Like, you thought it was bad near the shock, but now it is. You've realised it's actually even more heightened right now.
I'm gonna add a sight thing and say that we both spot at the same time on like my brother's corpse is his like service pistol.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh my god. I wish Adam was here. He would sort this out. He would make you guys understand. Where's the empathy, guys?
It's been replaced with rage.
You're gonna play Russian roulette now.
I think I'm gonna look at you, my eyes dart to it, and then I'm gonna run for the gun.
I will also run for the gun.
Not so easy.
On who?
On who?
I'll say not so easy to run for the gun for Buddy.
No, but the zone mutates you, giving a much unexpected ability.
Yeah.
There's an obvious option here.
Is there? Do you think bulletproof skin?
Yes, that's absolutely what I think, is that I get the gun, shoot you, and it doesn't work.
What if it ricochets?
Ooh!
Like your skin is hardened and it bounces off.
What if I I run for it and you manage to shunt me back and then grab it and then...
I think that's a great way for me to die, is like, I'm the one that pulls the trigger.
Because maybe for me it could even be like a defense thing, like you're full of anger, I'm full of anger. I need to make sure you don't have that, and then...
Yeah.
You just empty a clip into yourself.
Like, yeah, like we both sort of dart for the gun, as I manage to like just about outpace you, and just manage to like sort of push you into like a rack of shelves or something, which causes you to just slow down enough as I sort of like slide grab the gun, and then in like just one sort of motion, just sort of jump to my feet, aim the gun at you, pull the trigger. As the bullet sort of hits your skin, ricochets off and just catches Jeb just like through the throat.
I think I like shut my eyes, like almost like hoping I'll turn invisible, but I kind of just don't, I guess. But you know, or like flinch shut, you know, and you just expect to have been shot.
Yeah.
Like, Jeb, wait, no. Like touch myself, and then I realise like you've.
Yeah, you sort of pat yourself down, and you just hear like gurgling coming from the.
Jeb, no, and I'm gonna like walk over and almost catch you, try and staunch the wound.
Yeah, just like gargling blood, like spitting up blood. Just.
Jeb, no, stay with me, please.
Aww, so sad.
You do what you can, but you're not medically trained. As Jeb just bleeds out very rapidly in your arms as you just sort of sat there, surrounded by corpses and blood.
Can I make it slightly worse? I don't know if this is.
Go on.
Can I take the gun, go to shoot myself in the head, and just not have it work?
Oh my god!
There was one bullet in the mag.
They just all misfire.
Yeah, it's like you pull the trigger and it just clicks as the magazine's just empty. As I'm gonna end my scene there. I am now one with the zone.
Mark, it's your turn next. By the way, I haven't directed a scene since The Village.
Wow, it's been a long time.
It's genuinely been so long.
Aw, sorry.
No, it's fine. I get the scene. So, you are the director. Do I want to do another scene in the mall? No, I think we're
ready.
I think we're moving to the center. Part
Here
1.
we go.
The scientist is at the center. Here at the heart of the zone, the scientists will finally be able to express the wish that brought them all this way. What will the zone do with that wish? That's for everyone else to decide using the not-so-easy cards we've gathered on this journey.
Okay, so how do you get to the center, though? How do you go from the mall to here?
See if it gives us a scene. Oh no, we have to define it first. So you're the director, you've made it to the center. The center part 1. The lone survivor has made it to the legendary center of the zone. First, define the center together.
I pitch an idea for how you get from the mall to the center.
Yeah.
As like you're the last one standing, the mall just sort of fades away as you're just in the center. Like you don't teleport, you don't transition, like everything just fades away as you're just in the center.
Do I look down? Is Jeb still there, or is he gone?
I think it should just be you. Like,
yeah.
As the sole survivor, you're the only one that's here. Like,
what do we think it looks like? Do you think it is like that, just inky blackness, or?
I mean, that ties it together. Like, we've had the inky blackness from the beginning, so.
I like the idea as well of maybe there are fragments of everything. There's like the trees that we started at the boundary. There's some farmyard equipment. There's like the aquarium, like a broken aquarium just seeping water into an endless void. Almost like bits of just fragmented throughout everywhere.
Well, I was actually literally going to say the same as like that weird liminal space. But I was going to say that it has like a certain magnetic pull to it. Like you don't feel afraid that you're there.
Yeah.
You feel like probably the safest you've felt the whole time since leaving the structure to enter the zone.
No, yeah, I think that makes sense. Like that kind of like almost like all the emotions of the last scene have gone. I guess like, I guess I'm not even holding a gun anymore. I'm not holding Jeb. Like I'm just here. I always have been. That familiarity.
I like that. I think it's really good.
Let's meet the center. You are the director. It's almost time for you to express your wish. Mark, you came to the zone driven by an obsession, which was I need to find my brother Alex. He was in the first expedition and hasn't come back. Do a short flashback about the origin of this obsession. Does it still drive your wish? Then describe how the zone tells you that it's ready to hear this wish. Maybe, you know, from the scene where I saw the spirit, like the weird ghost brother?
Yeah.
I think maybe there is some truth there. That I think maybe Buddy was scared. Maybe I accidentally deliberately got myself injured so that I wouldn't go because I was scared. And I think that's where the obsession came from, maybe. Always living in my brother's shadow, always kind of being this, like playing second fiddle to him, but now getting to be the one who gets in there and brings him back, and that kind of took over.
Like a hero complex kind of thing, like you were desperate to be the big hero.
Yeah, like I can finally rescue my brother who's in danger, and I can save him. And I think this is his big thing. I've always, been like a small microbiologist. Maybe there's a small part of me that thinks everything I've seen's not been real, and maybe he is still in here somewhere. Think any? Does that sound good?
I like that. I
Yeah.
think that's really good.
Yeah. So what is the scientist's wish? Oh. Once Mark expresses their character's wish and advances to the judgment, everybody else will embody the zone and decide if and how it occurs. It may not be so easy.
Ooh.
I think, I wish I had my big brother back.
Aw.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's enough. It's corruptible. It's not so easy.
You're now the other side of Not So Easy. Josh, you got the most Not So Easy cards while alive. These are now the Judgment deck. You will decide how the zone treats a wish by choosing a card from this deck. Cassie and Steve, you're influenced the final judgment by adding one card each to the Judgment deck and describing the possibilities things might go. Start Judgment.
Oh. So we'll use all of Josh's cards and then one of Cassie's and one of Steve's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, Josh, who was the emotive backbone of the party. I'm now at his mercy.
I think Cassie gets to choose a card and then describe the. So there's like what, yes and, yes but, no and, no but.
Yeah. It says like it's giving me a suggestion as a way the zone might respond to the wish. Describe this possibility, and then Josh can incorporate this in their final judgment. I was like, why can't I press any more cards? And I was like, oh, okay.
You get one, I think.
Yeah. It's because it's not an actual thing. I didn't realise that I had.
It's over to you, Steve.
Okay.
I am seeing what cards you're putting in, by the way.
Yeah, I can see what Cassie put in.
I just get to pick a card now.
Is it a random, or do you?
No, I just
Oh.
get to pick. What I can see is a lot of cards, and they all say yes and, yes but, no and, no but. But some of them are influenced by our fellow players.
I think if you look at that as a whole, it slightly skews in one direction.
Oh, don't let maths guide you.
No, I don't. Think about what a good ending beat would be good for it.
Don't let maths guide my decision, prime numbers boy. Come on.
That's my gimmick. Get your own.
Like his wishes, he had his big brother back. So it's like, yeah, you can have it, but at what cost? Or no, you don't get it, and this happens. Depends how nice you're feeling.
Do I get out? Do I stay in? Do I?
I'm gonna go with one of you.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
baby. Mark, I think you should read this.
No, and the wish does not happen, and it's even worse than that. So,
Okay, it says the scientist is mysteriously found outside the zone, describing what happens with their wish. You may choose to incorporate influences from the other players who embody the zone.
Me and Cassie may add details.
Mm.
Okay, so you find yourself outside of the zone. You've escaped.
just come to outside.
Yeah, but you're not with your brother.
Can I add a few details?
Yes, of course you can.
Just because obviously it's worse than that.
Yeah.
Not only are you alone in the field without your brother, but the same traits and characteristics that you embodied from him last time start to feel. You kind of feel them appear on you again. You know, like your eyesight is fine without your glasses. You know, you have more facial hair, almost like you don't have him, and you're also embodying him at the same time.
Ooh.
Because I think to make it worse, like obviously he's found out in the field. He looks like older, obviously with a beard and whatnot. He still has the gun and Jeb's corpse with him.
Oh,
You've became what you've wanted, but you've not got it.
You're also about to be charged for murder, so...
I don't believe you'd be charged for murder, because let's be fair, this is all weird and none of it makes any sense. So,
I mean, it's your details to add, but I also think like the government or the shady corporation would be very much on the first thing to have made it into the zone and come back.
well, I mean, it says Mark gives us the epilogue. So what happens next?
Maybe I come out with Jeb's body. Maybe I get locked up and like the government find me and they need to obviously contain what's going on here. But maybe through some weird anomaly, I seem to find, or maybe all of your things come through, like, or your niece gets her like transfusion. Your writing kind of becomes like, I don't know, maybe something like that. But
It's not that the niece is with you, but the niece pulls through.
She just inexplicably gets better.
Yeah, maybe she makes a complete recovery. Like,
Or maybe does Sarah come with you, or does it just like my books become Adam's books become like to sell skyrocket, like they become.
I mean, if you want to get philosophical, like, you know, you never truly die until people forget you. So maybe you become like a cult like author. And like someone writes like a biography about you and your wife, which then sort of immortalizes you in like the written word.
That's nice.
So really what happens is then for you as a character, Buddy comes out with just Jeb in their arms and the gun. But our wishes, Adam and Evie's wishes, come true.
It's your final judgment, so I'm happy to.
I would actually say you do come out with your brother, because I think Jeb is your brother. Like in a...
Oh,
Okay.
that's so sad.
Well, it's no ad, so I don't get my wish. It's even worse.
You don't get your wish because you take on the characteristics of your brother, but you're with Jeb, who is your...
I think an interesting ending for that then would be maybe, as a man of science who has all the way tried to explain things, this is like the, you know, unexplainable, like the snapping of everything. And
Yeah.
I think maybe like word suddenly spreads or someone spots him, like, you know, like a drone tags him as being outside. Like he's like rushed by like these shady, like shady agents taken somewhere. Like people try and ask him, and like people try and ask him about what happened or like what he saw in there, and people saw him go in, and like he's kind of the only example of something that's come out as this like weird fish man, like empath holding his body that's kind of his brother, that he looks physically different than he went in, and like he's kind of a bit traumatized because he sees himself as almost his brother in the mirror. Like his reflection is that visage that he couldn't save. Whatever shady corporation are running all this aren't going to let him just, you know, off himself or anything. So he's kind of locked up somewhere as like a...
Oh no.
Even if you wanted to, you got bulletproof skin.
Oh yeah, I can't even shoot myself. I've got bulletproof skin.
They can't kill you either.
Like your wish gets corrupted so that like you just get like Darwin powers from X-Men. So you cannot die. Like no matter what you try and do, you are just like trapped. Like riddled with survivor's guilt.
you still get to become a superhero. It's like you're like the Wolverine of the world.
My name's Buddy.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of awful, that survivor's guilt and also not wanting to be here anymore. But maybe there is like a slight ray of sunshine. Like maybe at some point he does find out. I don't know. Maybe he somehow finds, like, steals a phone or finds some way to get something to find out that about kind of you guys' positive stuff happening. Maybe there's like a small solace in there that he can make some peace with himself.
I hope so.
Yeah, that it wasn't all for naught.
Yeah. So thank you. Take a few minutes to debrief and share favourite moments. When you're ready, view the final mission report.
Let's look at the mission report.
I do want to see a mission report.
Hell yeah.
I really enjoyed this game, by the way.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I actually really want
yeah.
to buy the physical copy because this is my favourite type of board game. I love anything which is all like storytelling based.
Shared narrative is the best kind of like TTRPG, like
For
by
sure.
far.
Exactly. And it's great because you don't need to bring anything to the table. It's just your imagination. That's all you got to bring.
But yeah, I hope that was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed that.
That was
I
really
Yeah.
fun.
I adore this. This is so good.
And I think it's easy because you can go a lot of different ways with that. Like it can just be a visceral horror experience. It can be like, as kind of hit that emotive beat at times.
Yeah, we ended up with like a really interesting like psychological horror rather than a bloogie woogie horror.
And me and Steve tried to kill each other.
That was brutal at the end, man.
Damn.
But yeah, do we want to quickly do outro and just plugs, or does anyone want to?
I can go first if you like.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure being on this, Mark. I always love it when you invite me on here, and please get me on more. I love all the games we play on here. If you like the sound of my voice and you want to hear more of my empathic vibes, please check out Mind Mash XP. It's a new Twitch channel we've just launched. It's all about creating a positive space for new and spicy people to hang out and play video games. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please pop on by. We'd love to see you there. It is family friendly, so a little bit different to the vibes here, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's great.
I'll put a link to all of it in the show notes for each episode anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Cassie, do you have anything you wanted to plug or say?
I'll just say that I have very much enjoyed playing this. I've had so much fun considering it's not something I've ever really delved into before, so I hope everyone also bears that in mind when they listen to it. And I think Mark is a great host as always, and I've really enjoyed playing with friends old and new, so thanks for the opportunity to do it.
Mark is cool.
I mean, I did DM. This has been really fun because it's been one of the first games where I haven't not been in the DM chair, but I think it's interesting to have some of that shared narrative.
I'm just saying, but you're a great host. Like, you made this happen.
I mean, guilty as charged. I'd happily have any of you guys on if we want to do anything in the future. Like, I need Steve to do his plugs. Steve, to your ouch.
If you like wrestling and for some reason like my voice, catch Cast on YouTube. I do wrestling stuff occasionally. Go check that out if you want to see wrestling things.
I will put links down below in the doobly-doo.
The doobly-doo.
Expedition 14 debriefing. We got one. Expedition 14 yielded one survivor and one, corpse of one of the volunteers. But we move forward in the pursuit of knowledge and information. The survivor was one Dr. Buddy Taylor, and he came back certainly different from when he went in. We knew the zone was capable of the unthinkable, but by Jove, this man has gills, some kind of caustic burn on his arm, and his skin has an impenetrable texture. It took us 4 attempts to sedate him when we found him on the edge of the boundary screaming. Survivor's mental state is inconsistent. He doesn't seem to fully understand himself what happened from when he crossed the boundary. We know he went in looking for his brother, one of the boys from the first expedition, but initial questioning has proved odd at times. He seems to suggest in his answers that he found the first expedition, and then in others that he is his brother. Clearly something has caused some kind of traumatic response. When we ask him about what happened at the centre of the zone, his recollections seem hazy and inconsistent at best, and he erupts into hysterics at worst, claiming he was offered a wish, and this is the source of his agony. He seems to remember his compatriots in the expedition. He says they lost Evie Larkin in a hospital to some kind of exsanguination, and Adam was taken away by some kind of giant black dog in the sewer tunnels. He returned with the body of Jebediah Taskman, whose body doesn't seem to have any of these mutations we could find, and appears to have died from a gunshot wound. The survivor claims it was in a shopping mall, but none of these locations existed in the space before the boundary. We also need to consider the possibility our lone survivor here went rogue. To say his account is unreliable is putting it very lightly. In light of all of this, what are our next steps? Dr. Buddy Taylor, from now on to be referred to as subject name the scientist, will be transferred immediately to a containment facility. Coordinates 774.2.4430. Indefinitely. It is critical that all the materials related to this case are to be destroyed, and Procedure F to be actioned once this recording is finished. As far as anyone is concerned, the fate of Expedition 14 is inconclusive. End mission log.